Hi guys, I want to do a video here on my experiment with the back to Eden method of gardening. It is July 1st of 2013 and I have converted most of my backyard into the back to Eden system. I have not planted a whole lot, mostly because I was just really busy this spring and I didn't get much of a chance, but I did make sure I got some squash plants in because we eat a lot of squash. And it's only been 8 weeks, maybe, probably closer to 6, that I planted these plants, and already it would appear that the back to Eden method is superior, because over here I have some raised beds that I also have squash in that were planted at the same time, and they don't look so hot. They look like this during the midday, and it's been pushing 100 degrees, 98 or so the last few days. And every time I come out here during the day, they're flat on their backs. They look like crap. And I water every day. They're mulched with at least an inch of sawdust, so that shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, they pop back out of it during the evening. But still, I think it's interesting to note that they seem to be having an issue during midday, and the squash plants, same varieties and everything, planted in the wood chips and mulch and sawdust and everything, seem to be fine. I have brought sawdust over simply because I had access to a fairly large amount of aged sawdust versus how much trouble I was having getting wood chips delivered. And I had an incredible variety delivered in the wood chips. This here, right at my feet, was the best load, and it was dropped off in early fall, and it was literally mostly wood chips. The other 2 loads that I got were pretty much this: tons of leaves, about 50% leaves, with a bunch of twigs, and some of them were 18 inches long. They got a crappy shredder, and I'm using I've had Asperland tree trimming company. They have a contract with the electric company for the maintain the power line right of ways, and they were the only ones that I could get to drop any wood chips off at all. I called several companies. So getting the wood chips, as other YouTube videos have mentioned, is actually kind of difficult. And I live right on the outskirts of town and everything. I really wouldn't expect it I had this much trouble. But unless you want a lot of leaves in your wood chips, try and get your loads delivered after the leaves have fallen, and you can at least get something that looks like wood chips. But as it is, I'm kind of thinking of maybe switching over towards the sawdust. I have a friend who has a wood cutting operation running in the back of his property, and there's tons of sawdust there that's several years old that I think would be really good. Serve almost the same purpose as the wood chips with the back to Eden system. I'm in western Colorado. It's been pushing 100 for at least a week now. You dig down. Here's the wood chips down below. I'm still digging. And there we go. Finally some wet ground, some 6 inches down at least. So the wood chips, if I could have got more of them, I could have probably made it work, but unfortunately it was so hard to get them delivered that when I spread them across here, it was rather thin. Over there I have pine shavings from when I emptied out my chicken coop that I have spread across the top, and there was a lot of manure in that, a lot of dried manure that the rains will wash down into the wood chips and help break it down. That should be outstanding in a couple of years after that's all broke down. But I, of course, didn't have enough of that either to cover all of the wood chips, so I used sawdust over here in this portion, and we'll see how that goes. But if you're having trouble getting wood chips, maybe look around for sawdust, because I have no trouble getting sawdust. Aged sawdust was maybe the only slightly difficult part. But there are multiple lumber mills and the like around here that will sell you sawdust for $5 a pickup truck, and they'll come out and load it with a front end loader for you. So maybe keep that keep that in mind. Anyway, hope this some help to you. Signing out.